That's me. Number one dad. I bought that for myself. Yeah, Hobbs, I bought it for myself. You didn't buy me one. I've been a dad for 18 months. You never bought me one. In fact, I don't blame anyone, really, although you guys all did fail me. I don't look the kind of guy who's into those kind of things. But I am. I've always wanted a number one dad thing. Now that I'm a dad, I'm the number one dad. That's not why you're here. You're here because this is a 6-month review of the Nintendo Switch OLED. Well, I didn't need it. Hold on. Now, I know it seems odd that I would say something I didn't need a Nintendo Switch OLED, and I love it dearly. I think it's a great system. In fact, I think it's the best Switch that existed, but when I bought it, I definitely thought that I was going to be using it more in handheld mode because, well, that OLED display. But if I'm being honest, all I ended up doing was docking it on my desk, and it just turned into this beautiful, awesome little shrine to Nintendo. Well, all things console gaming. I never really used it in handheld mode. Now, there are a few instances in which I did, and for that, the OLED has blown the picture quality out of the water. Yes, it made that much of a difference. And what I think is the best thing about having such good picture quality is it creates a more immersive experience. And I wouldn't have thought that just having an OLED display would be able to achieve this, but it truly did. In fact, I was wanting to play old games that I had already finished before, and some of the best looking games on there were the first party games to begin with. We all know that Nintendo just does first party the best. I mean, they're so confident that they're the best at first party that they're not even trying to acquire more studios, they're just buying more land. They're like, yeah, we know we're the best. If I'm being fully honest, it ended up just being more of a FOMO kind of situation. I just didn't want to be the only guy without a Nintendo Switch OLED, especially since I'm the console guy. But looking at this thing, there are some added benefits. I mean, the fact that they fixed that darn kickstand and put that back flap on there. I mean, if you're ever going to be doing tabletop mode, it is absolutely crucial. The old stand was flimsy, and the fact that that's where they hit the card vertically, not to the side, it just everything felt unprotected, so that's nice. And the sound, the audio quality is actually pretty good. It's pretty loud, to be honest. I'm not mad at the audio quality increase, and also the internal storage increase. I guess that's good for some people. I mean, most people are just going to have to increase the storage of memory card anyway, but for the most part, this is just the best Nintendo Switch that exists right now. And you're probably wondering, well, should I go out and buy one, especially because there's potentially a new one on the horizon? And to that, I'd say, well, maybe. Let's talk about a couple things real quick. First is, do you own a Nintendo Switch? Because if you do own a Nintendo Switch, no, you don't really need to get the OLED. Honestly, you really don't. Unless you're in a handheld mode all the time, I just don't see the upgrade necessary. If you're already playing the games, you're fine. If you don't own a Nintendo Switch, this is the only one to buy. Not a Switch Lite, not the OG. Even if you can't find one right now, just wait. This is the only one to buy. Anything else, you're just going to be disappointed. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, JD, they're going to release a new one. I don't want to waste my money. And they might. They very well might. Do I know? No, they don't tell me these kind of things. You think they're going to tell me these kind of things? I make YouTube videos. They don't tell me anything. But I will say that if you're worried about them releasing a new one, then I guess hold off. But if you want to play some of these great games like Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, heck, Mario Kart is blast with expansion courses. It's so fun. Animal Crossing has its place. The new Kirby game is dope. There are just so many games to play on the Nintendo Switch, and you just need to look at it for what it is. Nintendo is a novelty system. Everything about it is just this nostalgic hug. That's all it is. They're not groundbreaking. I mean, they haven't been in a long time. All Nintendo is a magical, warm hug. It's not technologically advanced. In some cases, it's like they take steps backwards. You know, like those friends who insist on doing stuff handwritten or only using leather goods or, riding bicycles. That's me. So you just need to know what you're getting yourself into. Again, as I said, they're probably going to release a new one here in the next year or so, but I honestly think that this one's going to hold its value. And for anyone who has waited this long to buy a Nintendo Switch, let's be honest with yourself. If you waited this many years to buy one, if they were to release a new one, you would wait that many years again. So just go and do yourself a favor. Pick up the Switch. For me, the Nintendo Switch OLED is a 10 out of 10. It's a must-have for anyone who enjoys video games, for any Nintendo fan. It is an absolute must. But if you already own a Nintendo Switch, aside from the display being incredible and, them fixing some of the hardware on the outside, I'm gonna be honest. you don't really need to do the upgrade. The games run exactly the same. You have the exact same amount of fun. So as far as my 6 months review is concerned, it's a great system, but it was unnecessary for me to buy. I still have my OG Switch, and it is a launch day Switch. My wife uses it, so we get to play together, but honestly, it works just as good because I am running it docked all the time, aside from the few times I sit on my couch. And honestly, it's not as much as I wanted. It really isn't. I'm a homebody now. Got a kid. I'm a number one dad. All right, sub if you wanna, like if you can, but most of all, happy gaming.